Back to Autism Live. Hi, Keith.
Hey.
So we got a studio full of people, and we've got Keith Reza joining us via Skype. For those of you who don't know, Keith obviously is hilarious. He's a stand-up comedian. He identifies himself as being on the autism spectrum, and his favorite ice cream is pinkberry yogurt. I guess that's not really ice cream; that's yogurt. But
yeah, that's a frozen yogurt place.
Yes. What am I saying? He has been one of the top 50 funniest in the OC for 6 years in a row. He's going to be hosting this week on Saturday the Fullerton Cares comedy show for autism. Joining us in the studio, we have Yates Martinez, who has been instrumental in making this event happen for many years now. We're going to be talking with her. She's an amazing mom, identifies as a self-advocate. I have known her for many years and think that she's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So she's got a lot that she's going to add. And then, as if we didn't have enough going on, we have Aida Rodriguez, who's with us. She is a hilarious stand-up comedian. You've seen her on comedy specials on HBO and Showtime. And if you haven't seen her on Tiffany Haddish's They Ready on Netflix, you should, when we're done here, go immediately and watch that. And then you'll be like, oh my gosh, they had her on Autism-live, right? So do that anyway, because she's wonderful. And you're going to be performing at the comedy show for autism as well on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start first by talking how this all came to be, who knew who when, and like, you know, we're not doing the presidential hearings, but instead we'll find out who knew what when for who of the three of you, okay?
You're funny too.
So Keith is our common link. And I was looking for someone awesome to feature with Jay Moore and George Perez, and he said he knew you, and I got super, super excited because, you know, I'm a huge comedy fan. That's what I do with my time. So my disposable time, not that I have a lot, but, you know. And so when he told me he knew you and that you would be willing to talk to me about it, I was just, the rest is history.
Well,
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And it looks like Keith is sprouting out of your head at this moment. There we go. So Keith, tell us how you met Aida.
I met Aida through stand. I just want to be clear. I'm like not sick. I'm like my dog's sleeping on me.
Okay. So we've got a great angle. Dog is sleeping on him, ladies. They don't get to hear what he's saying. So dog's sleeping on Keith. That's why he's in the position that he's in. I thought you look like you're in a clinic and a hospital bed. But
No. I have a beagle and he hurt his leg and he's like lying on my leg.
All right. Hurt beagle gets priority. So very nice of you to give that to and say.
It just looks weird that like on Skype. I'm sorry.
All right. No, it's all good. So how did you meet Aida?
I met Aida through stand-up, and you know, I've known her for about 6 or 7 years, and I'm very close with her. You know, I think of her as my comedy mom, and I love her very much.
Are you comfortable with being called his comedy mom?
I just asked her to do the show. Okay. She said, yeah.
Wonderful. And so for you, Aida, like what was like the first time you met Keith?
Oh, you know what? It was watching a comedian do really well, because that's what he was doing. He was killing it. And we had a conversation, and he shared with me that he was, you know, on the spectrum. And my manager at the time, who I actually introduced to Keith for representation, has a son who's also has 2 children who are on the spectrum. And we just started talking because, you know, being a Latin, you know, diseases and illnesses and issues get stigmatized. Like I suffer from a self-destructive eating disorder, and you think only white people when you think, but I grew up with my mom's best friend's son who was autistic, and they didn't know what was going on. Like it was such a big deal to them. Because they didn't have resources, they didn't have information, they didn't have understanding. So meeting Keith and understanding the stigma that comes with being on the spectrum, and he's high performing in the comedy realm, making people laugh, even if he's uncomfortable. I just naturally just gravitated towards him because he's a beautiful human being, and I wanted to be in his orbit. Like he calls me comedy mom because I immediately went into a protection mode, and like anybody mess with him, you know, like I was like not him.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, I absolutely love that. So you guys are all coming together on Saturday for this wonderful event, the Fullerton Cares Comedy Show for Autism. Let's talk about some particulars. What time is it happening, Robin? And
So the show is starting at 7, but doors open at 6, and you guys are definitely going to want to be there when the doors open. We have a lot of fun stuff planned, really cool silent auction, raffle, amazing food, of course, because it's Larry Hauser's event, so the food is going to be amazing, a lot of yummy drinks, and just every cent of the proceeds from this goes directly into Fullerton Cares, which goes directly into programs for kids with autism in our community. So it's very grassroots and just an exciting thing to be a part of.
And you know this firsthand because you have 2 kids that have participated in things with Fullerton Cares, that this makes a big difference for the families in Fullerton, does it not?
It makes a huge difference for the families in Fullerton. I mean, now that this is ongoing, you know, our Mardi Gras for Autism is having its 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And so I have families that we have deep bonds with, you know, that are like family friends because Fullerton Cares connected us and connected the community. So that's what I love about Fullerton is it's very, just very conducive to that family vibe of, you know, we all stick together, we all protect each other, we're all very protective of each other's kids.
Yeah.
In my role as a community outreach director, doing our extracurricular programs, it's been really awesome for me to get close to everyone's kids.
Yeah.
And be able to work with a lot of my friends' kids.
So that's the good part of where the money goes from this event, but then back to the event, you know, starts at 7, the comedy starts at 7, but doors open at 6, and we've been telling people you should go immediately when you can go, like 4 o'clock, go have dinner, there's live bands and things, and, you know, have your adult beverage, because this is an adult event. Right? I mean, are you working clean on this night, Ida?
No.
I haven't been asked to.
I certainly hope not.
Let me assure you, they don't want you to work clean.
No.
Because I've been to this event. Keith, are you planning on working clean that night?
I'm actually pretty clean comic. I mean,
I was just going to say, I've seen you before, and you are a pretty clean comic. But there will be some adult thing.
He has his days.
Yeah, we're F-word
really?
friendly at this event.
Right. So
sure.
this is an adult event with adult beverages, an adult comedy. So people should plan on getting a babysitter and doing that. But
Yes.
Keith, this time you're the host. Talk about that for a second. What was it like being asked to do that?
It was at first it was very surprising because, you know, I usually just do a set or whatever, and then when they asked me to host, I was like, yeah, that'll be fun, you know. So I'm a little nervous about that because I haven't hosted in so long. So like I've been trying to do some hosting spots the past couple weeks, and you know, so I could prepare.
And hosting, I can understand why it's a little intimidating. It's a big night with a lot of comedians, and the hosting gig is a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I want to say I don't know. It's kind of like hosting the Oscars to me because it's like
It is like hosting the Oscars. You're right.
yeah, because you gotta get everyone in the mood and you know you gotta get them to like prepared to watch all the other funny comics, and that hosting is just something that I haven't done in a long time. So like I'm kind of nervous, you know. So.
But I think you're going to be brilliant. I think nervous is par for the course, right? But I think you're going to be brilliant, and I think you're the perfect person to do it. Your comedy is so particular and smart, and I want to say smart and intelligent, but they're both the same thing. But it's funny and it's intelligent at the same time. So Ida, do you know where you are in the lineup for this?
I don't.
I thought you said you wanted to go first.
Oh, yeah, I am going first.
Yeah.
You're going
Well,
first.
So get there
You're gonna
early.
set the pace.
So I fly in on Saturday.
Okay.
So
Where are you going in the meantime? You're here now. Where
I
are you
fly to New York tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to tape the Stephen Colbert show on Friday.
Oh, wow. Shut
I'm
up.
going to do stand-up, yeah. And then I come back Saturday morning, and then I'm going to do the show. And so I have another show after this show because I lost my grandmother to cancer in 2013, so I appreciate that. So I have to have, before the end of the year, I have to do so many things to raise money or to participate in like community service. It helps me with dealing with her. And so I have another show I'm doing right after. And then I'm going to sleep because I haven't slept in like 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
I just came from New York on Monday. So
Wow.
it's been constant. So I'm going to try to get some rest because Monday I get back to work.
Okay, but so Keith is going to open this up, and then you're going to be the first comic up, and then I know there are a bunch of other comics that are going to be there.
Well, George Perez.
Yes.
He's gonna go, and
Oh,
then Jay Moore.
and then Jay Moore.
It's gonna be awesome.
And they saw Jay yesterday
That's
on
correct.
the show, and Jay is hilarious
Yes.
and truly an amazing. So this is an all-star night. This
Oh,
is an all-star
absolutely.
lineup. This you're going to get way more than your money's worth, and you're going to know that you're helping kiddos on the autism spectrum. And when should we watch you on Colbert?
We haven't gotten an air date yet. We tape on because they don't tape on the same. They don't air on the same day. The comedy.
Okay.
So I will let you guys know. So.
We will look forward to that.
wait.
And Keith, are you like when you hear her say things like Colbert? Are you just chartreuse with envy, or just supportive of her that that's how she's working?
He supports me.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question was, are you envious when you hear Ida say that she's doing the Colbert show? Is this something you aspire to? Are you just supportive, or are you envious, or both?
She told me about that, but did she say that on the?
Yes, I
'cause
forgot that you weren't hearing what she said. She's going to be going and doing the Colbert show before she comes to the. That's what she was saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's great. I
forgot
I'm
to
sorry.
translate. No, my bad.
I to say, so I'm
No.
just like.
And I was the one who was supposed to tell you, and I forgot. I've been trying to tell them what you're saying, but not telling you. My bad. Bad host. This
yeah.
is why I'm not Colbert.
He's
Yeah, I
always
mean,
really supportive.
Ida does all these amazing shows, so that's that's how special she is, and her schedule's so busy. Like sometimes she doesn't know she has like 4 shows in a day, and she still does them all.
He's saying sometimes you have 4 shows in a day, and
Yeah,
that you do
yeah.
them all. But do you aspire to be doing the kinds of things that she's doing, Keith?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I want to be just like Ida.
Of course. Well, just like Ida, but the male version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goes without saying. So anything in particular for this night? Like obviously it's a comedy event for autism, but it's not particularly about autism. Is there anything that the audience, anything in particular that you want to tell the audience that you're going to be talking about? Not asking you to do stand up right now.
Oh, I appreciate
but
that.
anything? Yes. No. It's
I
early
talk
in the
about
day.
family stuff. I like to focus on a lot of family stuff. The things that all people have in common, regardless of what the dynamic of the family is, we all have certain things in common and I like to focus on those things because then, you don't have people in the audience saying, what?
Yeah.
We all have, so many things in common.
So Keith, Ida's saying that she likes to talk about, family things and those things that everybody can relate to. You've got a very unique perspective for your comedy. Where are you coming from?
I basically just talk about what it's like having autism, and I talk about presidents and adult videos and stuff like that.
Autism, presidents, and adult videos. That's a really interesting thing you got going on there. I want to see your little set list paper that says that. We probably need to frame that. That's funny in and of itself, Keith. So what are you most looking forward to on Saturday?
Just hanging out with Ida and Jay and meeting, other individuals with autism, and I really enjoy doing this fundraiser every year because I feel like no matter what I say, it's always going to work, and it's just nice doing comedy with individuals who understand me and get me,
Yeah, it's wonderful. He was saying he's looking forward to hanging out with you guys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that no matter what he says, he feels like, this audience gets him, and that's the truth. What are you looking forward to on Saturday, Ida?
Watching Keith shine,
Yeah.
it makes me happy to see him work. I went to Huntington Beach to support him on another show that he did. I think that he advocates in a way that is more relatable. Comedy is a way to reach a lot of people, and through his comedy, he's able to to give a message that you don't hear and that people need to hear. And he also gives a voice to people who deserve to have a voice. And so when I see him do stand-up, like, I like to support him in any way that I can because it's just important. I think it's you know, and he's funny.
He is funny. He's hilarious. But I appreciate you saying that too often it can be a cutthroat business, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to climb the ladder in their own way and get what they want. And I've seen that Jay is a wonderful mentor. And I've been hearing that you are a wonderful mentor, that he's calling you his comedy mom. That's high praise.
And I love his mom.
What a wonderful, wonderful thing. And how nice of you to do that. It's hard enough for women in this industry. That you have the time to mentor is a really wonderful thing.
Well, we got to make time, you know, like here's a young man who's struggling with the reality of what his life is, who's very open and shares it. He's very, you know, very transparent, you know, sometimes a little too much on Facebook, which I'm always rearing him.
Keith, what's that about? They're saying that sometimes you're very transparent on Facebook, maybe a little too much. Is that true?
Yeah, I can be. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call him and I'll say, hey, take that down.
Oh, okay.
Let's deal with it like this. But, you know, I just think it's you got to make time. And I think a lot of us pride ourselves in being busy or whatever. Some people want to call themselves famous. At the end of the day, none of us are exempt from the realities of life. Steve Jobs was rich, successful, and cancer took him from us, right? So we just got to remember that we're still just human beings and we have to make time for each other. Like, I don't know, it's important to me because that kid's well-being matters to me, so.
Well, thank you for that, right? Isn't that a powerful thing for all of us to hear? What a wonderful, wonderful thing. Robin, what are you looking forward to on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to Ida. I'm a huge, huge fan. So I spend these events just trying not to fangirl too hard on anyone.
Right.
But I just love you. I love Ida's work. You're a working class hero. That's who you are to me, you know, because you are so real. You've been through stuff. I was telling you when we started this, like, regardless of socioeconomic status, culture, race, anything like that, primarily the building is made up of autism parents. And they've all been through something really, really serious. And we share that common bond of, you know, having had that with our kids that unites us no matter what. And so I just think that you're a really, really good example for women. You know, the way you just spoke about, you know, that we have to make time for people and understanding that. And I'm really, really looking forward to see Keith too. I think he is going to do amazing. Yeah. Who better to host the show? And I think he's going to do fabulous because, again, for that particular crowd, yes, he's funny. Yes, he's entertaining. Cute as a button, all of it. But he is giving that audience hope. Yeah. There are people in that audience that are gonna sleep better because he can talk.
He's a great example.
You know what I mean? He is a great example for what Dr. Doreen talks about all the time, which is you can get to a point of recovery with autism. You can work on things and work on yourself. And he's giving everyone hope on top of making everyone laugh. Everyone's going to sleep a little better that night.
I love what Howie Mandel says. You know, he goes, why are we talking about disability? Let's talk about this ability. And
That's
Keith
right.
is very able. And Keith, I want to say to you, I haven't had a chance to say this to you, but last year I was at the comedy show and my son was there. We are not advocating that anybody bring their teenage son, but my teenage son was there. And he saw you perform, and afterwards he said, you know, Mom, I don't know, maybe I want to be a stand-up comedian, so look what you did. I'll send you a bill for that, because he was going to be an engineer before, Keith. Thank you. See what you're doing.
That's very cool.
Yes.
I love it when there's stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're paving the way for so many behind you. Well, I want to remind people, if you haven't already seen Ida on the Netflix, the Tiffany Haddish show, They Ready. First of all, you should be watching that anyway, because it's a hilarious, you know, but you should go and do that now, because we're about to end here. So make sure that you do that. But you also want to come to Fullerton Cares. It's in the ballroom upstairs.
Yes, it's in downtown Fullerton in the classic Fullerton ballroom. And it's right by Bourbon Street in the Bowery, right there. in downtown Fullerton. Really, really fun place, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So much fun. It's really fun every year. Last year was great, and so there are tickets still available.
There are, okay.
There are. So, and I'd like to say this: if you're not in the area or you can't make it,
Buy a ticket.
buy a ticket anyways. Find someone who's not just impacted by autism. Find a single mom like Theo Vaughn does. Find a single mom, babysit her kids for her, and give her the
Yes.
tickets so that she can go. Something like, in other words, use those tickets to make someone else smile if you can't make it yourself.
There you go. A wonderful, wonderful event. You will laugh until
Your face will hurt.
and things will come out. We don't want to go there, right? But anyway, wonderful, wonderful evening, Keith. I'm going to wish you to have the most fun ever, because I think you're going to be a brilliant host.
Oh, thank you
Yes.
so much.
All
I
right,
appreciate
all right, and fabulous. Good luck to you flying all over the places you have to get to, and thank you for being such a wonderful. Mensch is not the right word. I don't know what the female equivalent is, but thank you for being that wonderful presence.
Well, do it for my bubby.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Well,
Beautiful.
you're representing for her, and that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
All right, we have to go and take a break, and we'll be back with our next guest. We're going to talk about an amazing toy on our toy guide, so don't go anywhere unless you're going to watch Netflix right now.
Yes.
Go watch They Ready, because you will laugh, laugh, laugh.
And look up the Young Turks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you on the Young Turks, too? Well, you
Yeah.
left that out.
I know.
All right, so on the Young Turks.
I had to.
Amazing.
I had to.
Yes, all right. So we're going to be back with toy reviews after this. Stick with us. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.